Sea Ray's 320 Sundancer has been a bestseller for the American brand for the last few years. It comes with outboard engines or inboard stern drives, and happily we have both variants here. Even better, both boats are very different in terms of their finish and design on board, and we'll show you what we mean by that in just a second. The outboard boat is the more expensive with those triple outboards. The price is coming out around 340,000 euros ex VAT, whereas the inboard stern drive boat starts at around 270,000 euros. Anyway, let's get you on board and show you around. I'm Carl Richardson and you're watching Yacht Buyer. Like a lot of these American sports cruise and sports boats we've been seeing, it's all about deck lifestyle, but it's all about how that deck lifestyle still allows for a really good cabin space, which we'll come to. But let's start here on this deck area. So we have this great surround of seating and the hardtop overhead giving you shelter, this optional awning as well giving shade for the guests here. But that is an option, and more importantly it does pull it in at the touch of a button, so this area can be completely open to the sun and sky. Now, staying with this hardtop a second, and more importantly the glass all the way around it, there are three options here. As I say, you get the hardtop as standard, the awning, and there is a sunroof as well as an option. However, you can have the actual surround here completely open, or there's a hybrid version which just has the forward screens, or as we've got here, the full coupe option where you have the surround of glass all the way around. But as you can see forward there, a section of that glass slides across quite neatly actually, and that allows you to get into that foredeck area, which we'll come to. But surround of seating here, this backrest will move forward to create more seating area, and we've got the wet bar here, so this is really your main sort of cooking area. We've got a fridge underneath, but there is a small little sort of galley area underneath. One touch that I really like on this cockpit is a lot of the main switches for the domestic systems on the boat are on the transom. So that means when you come to your boat, or more importantly when you leave your boat in the evening, you can turn everything off, step ashore, and it's done. So rather than it being tucked away over here, it's the last thing that you come to, or the first thing you come to on your boat. I think that's a really nice bit of ownership thinking there. So I've come up onto the foredeck of this 320 Sundancer because it's a good place to compare the different upholstery finishes. Now this particular finish is a prototype, the first boat to have this slightly textured ivory, very organic coloured upholstery, but there are three others. We have the dune, a sort of sandy dune colour. We have a grey stone finish, and also a sort of more traditional white upholstery. You can actually see the dune just on the other 320 alongside us. As you would expect from a Sea Ray, lots of nice details, stainless steel cup holders, gas struts on all the lockers, and there are a lot of lockers on this boat, and things like this which make such a difference, these rather neat armrests. And these obviously are great for comfort, but if you are going to be sitting up here when the boat's going along at 30-40 knots, then obviously having some lateral support is no bad thing. These lounges at the front will sink down to be completely flat or come up into this slightly more ergonomic layout. Lockers spread all the way from the bow to the stern, and what Sea Ray have done, and we're seeing obviously this a lot on other boats, they're broadening out the bow section, so not only do you win more deck space up here, you've got almost full beam deck space right up at the bow. You've still got that deep V hull underneath, but the actual usable boat is much better, and that continues up to the front because you've got lockers all round the bow, and that spreads right the way through to the stern of the boat. So we're sat here at the Helm Station of the outboard power boat, but actually whether it's inboard or outboard, you've got exactly the same setup, very similar controls, and importantly both boats come with the optional joystick control. So it really is just about what engines you want hanging off the back of the boat. If you do go for those outboards, those triple 350s, you're looking at a top speed close to 50 miles an hour, maybe even a touch more. If we go with the inboards, depending on what horsepower you choose, you've got easy performance anywhere from 30 to maybe 35 knots across petrol and diesel options. The driving position itself is very good. There's a bolster seat here, there's good lateral support, and these huge coupe windscreens in front of me, excellent visibility forward, adjustable steering wheel. Sea Ray have fitted the Simrad glass helm here. It does look really smart. We've seen it on a few other boats. It really lifts the consoles, I think, and just really in keeping with that Sea Ray heritage and what we're seeing across the rest of the boat. We've got these really nice tactile stainless steel buttons here as opposed to plastic switches, but it's a good ergonomic position. If I'm sat here using that raised footboard, does feel like you can sit but feel really braced. Obviously if you do stand up, it's just a matter of flipping up that bolster, and that really is a very good standing position. As I say, you can have just a lower windscreen, you can have the sides open. It really depends on where you boat, how you boat, but I definitely think the sunroof above would be a good idea. But all in all, a very impressive and well finished Helm Station. So we're now into the below decks area on this Sundancer, and that best of both worlds. We've got this incredible spread of deck above, but that we've found the space without affecting the boat's lines to find this really deep, very spacious cabin. We've got a dinette seating here. The table will fold over and drop down into a full double berth, and then we have another berth at the back here, which can be either as two single berths or with the infill a full double. A couple of things that have stood out to me digging around. The finish is really good. There's flowing design and thought pretty much everywhere you look. So we've got these wonderful hull side windows with the ports, beautiful organic flowing design. There's a lot of wood on there. There's an awful lot of stowage, and just easy to use stowage. These sliding doors just create massive voids where you can get all your gear stowed away. Behind this frosted door here, this rather zen-like door, we have a single toilet and shower compartment. That is to say, there's no separate shower, but 32-foot boat will live with that, I think. But the stowage everywhere, the finish just keeps on impressing, and I think whether you're thinking about staying for a night, a weekend, or maybe longer, I think this boat will look after you very well. And obviously it's quite handy to have a little microwave and a fridge down here as well, but I think most of your cooking, or all of your cooking really, up on that deck. So that was the Sea Ray Sundancer 320 in its various guises. I hope you liked it. If you did, please do like us, and if you'd like to see more of what we're doing at YachtBuyer, do click up here, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing to the channel, that'd be a wonderful thing too. Please hit up here. Thanks for watching. I'm Carl Richardson, and you've been watching YachtBuyer.